Stephen Edwin King is an American author of horror, supernatural fiction, suspense, crime, science fiction, and fantasy novels. His books have sold more than 350 million copies, and many have been adapted into films, television series, miniseries, and comic books. Check the link in the description below to get his top books in audiobook format for free.
When I chose to put on lipstick today, I wasn't thinking about what that would do for my Mike's experience, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do, so. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for being here today. What are the finger guns for? So today's video, very exciting. Part of it is gonna be me talking about my Stephen King collection, which you guys have been asking for. It is in no way, shape, or form done, and it's also very small compared to other Stephen King collections on BookTube, but hey, I thought I'd throw my hat in the ring and show you guys the books that I've collected from King. I got a few more this week, which is why I'm so excited to share them with you, as well as talk to you about the top 3 King novels that I think you should start with if you've never read Stephen King before and you're interested, but you don't know where to start with him. So I have 3 right here, and then we'll go through like my Stephen King collection. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video. So the first book I would suggest if you are interested in getting into reading Stephen King is Misery by Stephen King. Clearly, that is who this video is about. I swear to God, I'm gonna keep saying by Stephen King, and that's the only person we're talking about in this video, aside from me. I'm saying. Anyway, so Misery by Stephen King is my all-time favorite by King, and just so everyone knows, I'm not like the most well-read King fan. I've never read The Stand, I've never read the Dark Tower series, I've never read Firestarter. I started it in high school, and then like the fire that started, I didn't finish it, so I haven't actually read that one yet. And there's a lot of other novels of his that I haven't read yet, but these are the ones that I suggest at this point in my life. So anyway, Stephen King's Misery. This is my #1 pick. This is my top favorite one I've ever read by him, and the reason for that is, well, I just think it's a great story, but also it is between 2 characters pretty much the entire time in one location, whereas some of King's other books sometimes are a little too descriptive. Sometimes he doesn't know when to reel it in. Not naming names, but sometimes his novels feel really long for no really good reason, but I digress. Misery by Stephen King is between 2 main characters. We have Paul Sheldon, who's a super famous author, and he's famous for writing this series of books after this woman named Misery Chastain. So it's this whole series, and it's called like the Misery series, and eventually he gets bored, and he's like not into it anymore, so he kills off his main character, and then he is eventually kidnapped. It's not really kidnapped, but he's taken hostage by his #1 fan. And she says, hey, if you'd like to leave this place alive, you're going to continue the Misery series for me. And he says, no, you don't get it. Like, I don't want to write that anymore. And she's like, no, you don't understand. Like, you're not fucking leaving until you write this book for me. I don't know, I just really love it because it's all very simple. I think the story itself is just super interesting to like have an author be forced to write a book that he doesn't want to write because it's there to save his life, and just like what it does to psychology to like live with a woman who like clearly is doing this out of love, even though it's super violent and not okay. She still thinks that she's doing the right thing by him. So I just love it so much. I've read it twice now, and I will read it many more times in my life. I just think it's spectacular. So Misery is a great place to start if you want to read King. Another great place to start is Pet Sematary. Guys, I know I won't shut up about this book or this copy of this book. I mean, look at this. So Pet Sematary, more characters involved, but a very cool, spooky element to it. So if Misery is really about like kind of being held hostage, Pet Sematary is about like zombie grief. So basically what happens is that there's this family that moves to this little town in Maine, and in their backyard is a pet cemetery. And it's literally just that. It's like where all of the kids in the neighborhood have gone to bury their pets for generations and generations. And it's creepy that it's like in their backyard, but it's also like kind of endearing because it's like how the community is brought together. I kind of liked it. But then beyond the pet cemetery, if you go even further, you get to another like cemetery burial ground kind of place where if you bury something there, it will come back to life. And I won't really say much else aside from that, but the theory is tested. with certain living and I guess dead things in the family's life. And you see what happens when things come back to life. And it's just really creepy. And I also highly suggest reading this with the audiobook. It's narrated by Michael C. Hall, who plays Dexter in the movie or in the show Dexter. And it's fantastically done. He does such a good job, and it's really spooky. So highly suggest. This is definitely the one out of the three that I was the most scared by, even though I knew how it ended. I had already watched the movie, so I don't know why this one freaked me out so much. I think it might have been Michael C. Hall's narration of it, but anyway, highly suggest. And then the last book I suggest, you don't know what this is. It's The Shining. There we go. Now you can see. The third book that I suggest is The Shining. And the reason for that is because it's just so well known. It's such a classic to so many people. I mean, come on. Of course, when I'm talking about The Shining, my earrings don't want to face forward. I just feel like The Shining is referenced in so much pop culture, so many shows, so many movies. It's just like The Overlook Hotel or Jack Torrance or like All Work and No Play makes Jack a dull boy. Like you see that in a lot of pop culture. And so if you read this, I feel like you'll have a broader understanding of the world around you. Just, you know, not in like a super meaningful way, but you'll just like understand more of the references in pop culture. Anyway, so The Shining, what's it about? It's about the Torrance family. We have Jack Torrance, the dad, Wendy Torrance, the mom, and Danny Torrance, the 5-year-old son, who all move into the Overlook Hotel to be the groundskeeper for the hotel while it's closed down. Did that make sense? The mics is clearly getting to my head. So basically, Jack Torrance needs a job, and so he relocates his whole family to the Overlook Hotel to live in over a winter, like when no one else is there. And he gets a few warnings about how other previous groundskeepers have not kept their head on straight, and you know, it's just some warnings saying that maybe this isn't the best idea for you and your family. But Jack doesn't listen, and boy does he pay. So this one's a little more complicated because it's not just about like this family living in this kind of haunted-esque hotel, but also the son, Danny, who's like 5 years old, can shine. And what that means is that he can kind of peer into other people's thoughts and minds. So if his mom is like really stressed out about something, he can understand what she's stressed out about. It's like, it feels a little supernatural, but it's really just like a haunted hotel, super classic. Lots of like issues with alcoholism and like family dynamics are explored, and I just really, really enjoyed this one. But I think that since I had seen the movie so many times before I read this book, the other two rank higher for me because I knew less about both of them. Any case, great place to start with King. And again, all three of these I just think are awesome. I love all three of these books. But that's what I have to say. Those are some great places to start with King, and that's it. But let's get into the haul, you guys. I'm gonna go through each one and say where I got it from, although I will say this. I'm trying to collect all of King's novels or all of the novels that I like by him, in like used editions. And I like them as like tattered and broken as you can possibly get them. I just think it's so cool. I love his old covers more than I like his new covers. Like, this is a little too airport for me. This one's more like, ooh, vintage and creepy. And I especially love this one because it kind of reflects what's happening on the inside. So it's like tattered, discarded, torn up. Looks a little weathered, and that's kind of what happens in this book. So yeah, I just love a good used King. This one's from eBay, and a lot of the other used ones you'll see in this collection are also from eBay. This one is from a used bookstore, although I bought it new, and I think this is like the general copy of Misery you can get these days. This copy of The Shining is from my boyfriend's mom. She got this for me for Christmas, and I don't know where it came from, although I'm willing to bet my socks that it came from eBay. So definitely check out eBay if you want cool used editions of King's work. But let's get into it. The first one we have is Stephen King's The Green Mile. Look at that beautiful bitch. Oh my God. I've actually never read The Green Mile, but my mom let me have this or borrow it. Mom, can you tell me, are you letting me borrow this or can I own it now? I'll pay you $5. What do you want? Anyway, so yeah, The Green Mile, I haven't read it yet. I hear it's great, but I do love this copy of it, so beautiful. Next up, this is one of my newest ones. I literally got it on Friday, and that is Cujo. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? What an incredible copy. It's so simple. We know exactly what's happening. I'm just so excited for this one. I actually haven't read Cujo either, but I have seen the movie, and it's about a rabid dog. And that's the extent of my knowledge on it. It's about a rabid dog, and then at the end, or like halfway through the book, I don't really know. The whole terror is that a mom and her son get caught in a car and can't leave because the rabid dog, Cujo, is trying to get them. And it's like 100 degrees or something, and they can't roll down the windows, and they can't escape, so they're basically just baking alive. Not to be gross, and Cujo's waiting right outside. So you'll have to see what happens, and also I'll have to see what happens, although spoiler alert, I already know what happens. So anyway, I love this cover. I think it's so, so, so cool, and this is also from eBay. Okay, the next book is this incredible copy of Salem's Lot. This was actually sent to me by Pride and Paperbacks on Instagram. I love her Instagram so much. I'll link her down below. She also has made a few really cool prints. I got a Toni Morrison print from her in a previous vlog that I unboxed. There it is. So yeah, she sent it to me on Instagram and I was like, are you kidding me? You pay attention? Like, you actually listen to what I say and think of me? Like, she thought of me when she saw it. She was like, oh, Noelle will probably like this. I just thought it was so thoughtful. So anyway, yeah, it's this copy of Salem's Lot, and I just think it is so gorgeous. It kind of looks like that girl's head in the crystal ball in Haunted Mansion, like Madame Leota? I don't actually know. But yeah, it kind of looks like that crystal ball lady. But I just think it's incredibly awesome. I already have read Salem's Lot, and I have this edition of it. But it's pretty lame when you compare it to this one. So I'm so glad, and I'm gonna donate this one now, but yeah, I got this copy and I just think it's incredible. I had never seen this version of Salem's Lot before, so thank you so much, Pride and Paperbacks, or Molly, as your actual name is. Thank you so much for sending this to me. It was really, really sweet of you. The next book is Outsider, and now you can start to see my Harry Potter copies in the background. They're hidden away, folks. We don't love JK anymore. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, the next book is Outsider, or The Outsider by Stephen King. I haven't read this one yet, but my boyfriend said it was really spooky, and then I hear that the show is really good, so I do plan on reading this. And this is just one that I picked up from Half Price Books a few months ago, because he just said it was so good. So I think this is the only edition you can get. Like, I can't get a used copy of this because it's new. So anyway, yeah. All right, next. Do we even need to talk about it? Probably not, because I just did a reading vlog on it, but Stephen King's It. Yes, just read it, and it was quite the time. I'll leave the vlog in the cards if you want to go watch that vlog, but I did just read this in July, so there's really nothing to say about it. I will say that I do want a used copy of this book, because I think it'll be really cool to see, like, one of the original editions of it, but I don't know if I really need it, because this is like my well-loved one, right? Like, this is the one that I've annotated. This is the one that has all my post-it notes in it. So maybe I'll go find one. I don't know. For right now, I actually really love this cover. I think it's really simple, and I love that it's just like 3 tones. So anyway, It. Next, we have Stephen King's Dr. Sleep. Why do I keep saying his name? I don't need to keep telling you his name. We know who you're talking about, Noelle. Anyway, Dr. Sleep. This is the sequel to The Shining. I haven't read it yet. I've heard very mixed things on this book, and I actually hate this edition. I hate this edition. I thought I was getting another edition, and then when I went to pick it up, this is the one that I got, and I'm actually really annoyed because I wanted the... Is it like the movie cover? The one that's red with all the smoke on it? That's the one I wanted, and instead I got this random lady. I don't know. I haven't read it yet. I've heard very mixed things. It's like you either absolutely hate it or you think it's really cool. Like, I really haven't seen one that kind of like sits in the middle. So I really do want to read this because my boyfriend really liked it. But I'm a little apprehensive because I've heard some pretty shitty things about it. So I'll let you know what I think when I actually read it. Next up, we've got, can you even see this one? Oh, yes, you can. Oh my God, no, Pennywise is gonna fall. We have The Bazaar of Bad Dreams. This is a collection of short stories that I got for Christmas. Oh my God, it's a dusty bitch. I got this for Christmas like 5 Christmases ago, maybe even older than that. And did I start reading it? No, not at all. Don't even know if I've opened this book yet. Oh, you can hear it. So clearly I really wanted it super bad. Thank you, Santa, for getting this for me, because I just dove right in. I do actually think it would be really cute. I've kind of talked to my boyfriend about this in the past, but like getting a book of short stories and then reading one at night for the both of us, I think it would be really sweet and spooky. But then I'd have to read a short story every night. So anyway, yeah, so this is just a collection of short stories. If you've read any of these stories, please let me know which one is your favorite so that I can flip right to it and give it a read. But yeah, so Bizarre Bad Dreams. Next we have, you know what, Pennywise is gonna jump right down. There he is. So next we have Dolores Claiborne. I actually just talked about this in my previous book haul, which was my literal last video. Good one, Noelle. Anyway, yeah, I picked this one up. You guys had said, hey, if you like misery, you might like this Dolores Claiborne. And I said, done. I trust you. Is it Claiborne? Claiborne. Well, don't I feel stupid. All right, Dolores Claiborne. There it is. So yeah, I don't really know what this one's about. I just know, I think it's like the husband dies and then the wife is put on trial for it. I know that Kathy Bates plays both Annie Wilkes in Misery and Dolores Claiborne in both of them, so I'm excited for this one. But yeah. Next, we have Stephen King's... Noelle, stop fucking saying his name. We know who you're talking about. We have Carrie. I was about to say by Stephen King. This one, I mean, do we all know what it's about? I don't even know if I know what it's about. It's about a teenage girl named Carrie who is bullied severely in high school, and she has like some telekinetic powers, I think, and she can like bring pain to people or like move objects with her mind. Clearly, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm excited for this. I actually plan to read this during the reading rush, so I'm actually going to leave it out on the nightstand because the reading rush starts tomorrow. So, and then lastly, you guys, we have Stephen King's On Writing. Wow, what an incredible book. I love this book so much. I don't usually rate memoirs, but this one got a 5 out of 5 for me. I just thought it was so well done. It's like the first third of it is about Stephen King's life in relation to writing, like how he first started writing and his first stories that he published, all his rejection slips, and then how it was publishing Carrie for the first time, like it was his first book that he published, and like how much he made on that, which was such an incredible chapter. So you kind of learn about his life and his relation to writing, and then he gives you actual pointers on how to be a better writer. You know, I think it's great. It has a little bit of a memoir. It also has like some really helpful tips, and it's not just like, he doesn't just give you chapters of like the do's and don'ts of writing a good story. It's more like, hey guys, here's ways that I messed up in the past, or here are things that I've read that just don't sit right with me, so here's how to avoid that. And it's just really awesome. So I love this book so much. I referenced it in my final paper in my last semester of school. So yeah, I really like this, and I think it's golden. I think it's great. But there you have it, you guys. Look, we have completely finished it. Pennywise is hanging out by himself now. And then all my copies, my paperback copies of Harry Potter are hidden in the back. Hidden no longer, it seems like. But anyway, hope you guys liked this video. And also let me know what your favorite King novels are of the ones that I haven't mentioned in this. I know that a lot of people love The Stand. A lot of people love The Dark Tower. A lot of people, what's that other one that people tell me to read? Oh, Firestarter. So I've heard about those three, but if you have any other suggestions for King novels that I should definitely read, please let me know down below. But yeah, I hope you guys like this video, and I hope to see you in the next one, which will be a reading rush vlog. I think I'm actually going to do 2. I'm going to split it so you get like the first half of the reading rush and then the second half of the reading rush. But enough of my blabbering. It's time to go and finish, well, you guys know, okay? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!
Stephen Edwin King is an American author of horror, supernatural fiction, suspense, crime, science fiction, and fantasy novels. His books have sold more than 350 million copies, and many have been adapted into films, television series, miniseries, and comic books. Check the link in the description below to get his top books in audiobook format for free.